Good afternoon. I'm Eric Lee, Director of the Kimball Art Museum. It's my pleasure to welcome the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra for the announcement of the Symphony's 2025-2026 season. For the last several years, the Kimball has hosted the Fort Worth Symphony's ambitious chamber music series, and we appreciate our connection with and collaborations with the Fort Worth Symphony. Today, I'm very pleased to announce a 3-year collaboration between the Kimball and the Fort Worth Symphony. Beginning in the 25-26 season, the Fort Worth Symphony will project images from the Kimball's permanent collection to accompany related works performed by the symphony. You'll hear more details in a moment, but the first year will feature significant Spanish paintings from the Kimball collection, the second year, landscape paintings, and the third year, masterpieces from the early 20th century. We're delighted to increase the exposure of the Kimball's collection by bringing these works to audiences in Bass Hall. And now, please welcome my friend and colleague, Dr. Keith Cerny, the president of the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra.
Thank you, Eric. We're very grateful to Eric Lee and the Kimball for hosting us today. The chairman of the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra Board, Mrs. Mercedes T. Bass, has asked me to announce the 25-26 season, the fourth of our music director, Robert Spano. We are extraordinarily grateful to Mrs. Bass for her leadership and sustained giving over the last 30 years. Additionally, I'd like to recognize the leadership and support of our board, donors, and corporate sponsors. Thank you for those of us here in the audience and also for those attending via live stream on Facebook, presented in partnership with Marshall Media. Before my colleagues and I announce the specific programming, I have an exciting announcement to make. In his first few seasons, music director Robert Spano has already elevated the Fort Worth Symphony to new artistic heights and developed impactful working relationships with the board, musicians, and staff. To continue this very positive impact, Maestro Spano's tenure as music director has been extended to July 31st, 2031. Additionally, to continue to allow the staff to support our outstanding music director, my contract has also been extended to the same date. I look forward to producing great music in the coming years with Maestro Spano, and thank you very much. Speaking of great music, I wanted to highlight two important themes about the artistic trajectory of the Fort Worth Symphony. Robert and I are delighted that the Fort Worth Symphony is increasingly being recognized not only for the very high quality of its performances, but also for the creativity and innovation of its programming. The first theme is collaboration. Robert and I have made a priority of partnering with other arts organizations and museums in Fort Worth, North Texas, and beyond. We believe that artistic partnerships create new opportunities to increase the impact of both organizations, while also showcasing our exceptional orchestra. In the upcoming season, these partners include the Dallas Theater Center, the Bruce Wood Dance Company, the Sid Richardson Museum, and our hosts, as you heard Dr. Eric Lee refer to, here at the Kimball Art Museum. The second theme is the Fort Worth Symphony's continued focus on theater of a concert projects, in which we add extra visual, dramatic, or dance elements to some of our productions. These type of productions remain very popular with our audiences, and we will continue to incorporate them in our programming. And now please welcome 4-time Grammy Award winner and Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra music director Robert Spano to announce the first two programs of the season.
Good afternoon. So nice to see everybody here. Glad you could join us. The season opens in September of 2025, and we have Stephen Huff performing with us, who's a marvelous pianist with a close association with the Clyburn competition, so that's a nice link. We'll also be playing Sibelius's Finlandia and Brahms' Fourth Symphony. The next subscription series is also in September, the weekend 19, 20, and 21. And there we're pursuing what we've been enjoying over these last 2.5 years, one of our so-called theater of a concert adventures. So we have coming up this next week the third of the big Stravinsky ballets with dancers. We did the Haydn Creation as a production. We had the Flying Dutchman coming up this spring, which is a culmination of 3 years of our Wagner project, which started with artwork associated with the visuals to go along with the orchestral music from The Ring and other operas. And on September 19, 20, and 21, we'll be doing Joby Talbot's Alice in Wonderland with dancers from, we're very lucky to have new choreography by Bruce Woods, and the Bruce Wood Dance in Dallas, their director Joy Bollinger is able to join us today, and we'll hear from her later today. And we are going to pursue our theater of a concert with this production of much of the full-length ballet, Alice in Wonderland, with these dancers. And given how successful and wonderful the dance projects we've had over these years have been, I have no doubt that this will be extraordinary. I would like to welcome Joy Bollinger on stage to talk a little bit about the production we'll be doing with them of Alice in Wonderland.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor to be here today representing Bruce Wood Dance Dallas as we celebrate this exciting collaboration with the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra. As artistic director, I've had the privilege of leading this company through an incredible journey of growth, artistry, and community impact over the past 7 years. Bruce Wood Dance Dallas has always been rooted in the belief that dance has the power to inspire, heal, and connect people. We celebrate our 15th anniversary this season, and we are proud to continue building on the legacy of our founder, Bruce Wood, by bringing meaningful and innovative works like this to the stage. This partnership with the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra is a shining example of how the arts can come together and create something truly extraordinary. To choreograph to the suite of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland to be performed at Bass Performance Hall is an opportunity that reflects the spirit of collaboration and artistic excellence we strive for at Bruce Wood Dance Dallas. And working with Joby Talbot's stunning score is both a challenge and a joy. It is rich with whimsy and emotion and energy, which we are excited to bring to life through movement. And I am particularly thrilled that our dancers will have the chance to share the stage with this exceptional orchestra, creating a seamless fusion of music and dance that will transport audiences into Lewis Carroll's fantastical world. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Maestro Robert Spano and Keith Cerny and the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra for inviting us to be part of this visionary production. This collaboration not only showcases the extraordinary talent in our region, but it also underscores the importance of partnership in the arts. To our audiences, we can't wait to welcome you to Bass Hall next September for this unforgettable experience. Thank you all for your continued support of the arts and for allowing us to share our passion and our purpose with you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're very excited about that production. Then in November 21, 22, and 23, Jane Glover will be joining us for a program of Mozart and Mahler. Lauren Snofer will be singing Mozart's Exultate Jubilate, and we'll be singing the last movement of the Fourth Symphony of Mahler with Jane. And Imogen Cooper, a marvelous pianist, will be here playing the 27th Concerto of Mozart. We're thrilled to have Jane here that week, and we'll be talking more about Dame Glover a little bit later this afternoon. after New Year's next season, so in January of 26, January 9, 10, and 11, a wonderful colleague of mine who has been for many years the music director for Baryshnikov at the Baryshnikov Center in New York, Pedja Muzijevic, fantastic pianist, is joining us to do Chopin's Second Piano Concerto. And he has been here on the Chamber Music Series, and he will be with us again for the Chamber Music Series this season, and we're just thrilled to welcome him back to Bass Hall on this occasion, playing Chopin. The program is a little nod to Paris. We also have Ravel's Pavane and the love scene from Berlioz's Romeo and Juliet, and the great work of Debussy La Mer. With the presence of the Romeo and Juliet there, we'll make another link to Shakespeare later in that season as well, which we'll also talk about this afternoon. Still in January of 26, on the 23rd, 4th, and 5th, Marcus Stenz, the great German conductor, will be making his Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra debut. We were just thrilled to be able to get him here, conducting Mendelssohn's Calm Sea and Prosperous Voyage, the Strauss Duet Concertino for clarinet and bassoon, featuring musicians of our orchestra, and Schumann's Second Symphony. Keith Cerny is going to come back and continue our little tour through the classical concerts of next season.
Thank you, Robert. So our next program on February 27, 28, and March 1st, 2026 is another exciting collaboration on our Theater of a Concert series, in this case, Shakespeare at the Symphony. We will be partnering with Kevin Moriarty and the Dallas Theater Center to bring you an evening of music and spoken dialogue from one of the Bard's iconic plays. Musically, Robert will conduct the overture and suite from Mendelssohn's A Midsummer Night's Dream and selections from Prokofiev's Romeo and Juliet. Kevin Moriarty will direct the special production. I've worked with Kevin in the past on 2 different productions, and I know you're in for a treat on this. So here with us today to say a few words about the collaboration is Kevin Moriarty, now the Executive Director of the Dallas Theater Center. Welcome, Kevin.
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. In 1596, one of the greatest playwrights of the English-speaking world created 2 of the most enduring masterpieces of English theater, a comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and a tragedy, Romeo and Juliet. Shakespeare's language, predominantly written in iambic pentameter, has a musicality in its own right. His use of rhythm, tempo, pitch, coupled with the deeply human characters and the timeless themes, has not only delighted audiences, but also inspired composers in the years since. I'm thrilled to direct this Theater of a Concert performance that'll bring together the outstanding musical artists of the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra with actors from Dallas Theater Center's Brierley Resident Acting Company. With the actors performing in, around, and above the orchestra, the performance will intersperse theatrical scenes from Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet with Prokofiev's musical masterpiece, creating a celebration of the multiple ways in which artists can bring a timeless story to life. Personally, as a theater artist who's also a passionate fan of symphonic music, I'm inspired by the Fort Worth Symphony's ongoing commitment to blurring the boundaries between a traditional concert and a theatrical event. Robert and Keith are visionaries in understanding that audiences experience a musical performance with their eyes as well as their ears, and that appealing to multiple senses can actually lead to a deeper appreciation of the music. It's an honor for all of us at Dallas Theater Center to partner with the Fort Worth Symphony to bridge the gap between our art forms and unite the cultural institutions of our 2 cities in a performance that will be artistically thrilling and emotionally moving. We look forward to seeing you all next season at Bass Performance Hall. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Kevin and I worked years ago on a really stunning production of Peter Maxwell Davies' Erie masterpiece, The Lighthouse, and I have many, many fond memories of that experience, as well as other collaborations. So our next set of performances will be then March 20, 21, and 22, featuring Dame Jane Glover. She will conduct Britain's 4 sea interludes to Peter Grimes, Haydn's Sinfonia Concertante with 4 members of the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra as soloists, and Beethoven's Symphony No. 4. Then, as Dr. Lee mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, the Symphony will be partnering with the Kimball on the next program entitled Spanish Masters, an Evening of Music and Art. On April 24, 25, 26, Robert Spano will conduct Ravel's Rhapsody Espagnole, Peter Lieberson's Neruda songs with the ever-popular mezzo-soprano Kelly O'Connor, and Defia's Three-Cornered Hat. The program will include exquisite Spanish paintings from the Kimball collection projected on a large screen above the stage. On May 8, 9, 10, we welcomed renowned conductor Peter Ungen, the former first violin of the Tokyo String Quartet. Peter will conduct Joan Towers' Suite from Concerto for Orchestra, Dvorak's Cello Concerto with the prodigiously talented Zlatomir Fung, and Brahms' Symphony No. 2. Our last symphonic program of the season will take place on May 22, 23, 24, with Robert conducting Sibelius' Swan of Tuonela, featuring the symphony's English horn player Tim Daniels, who you'll hear from later, and Sibelius' masterwork that Robert is also especially known for, his Symphony No. 2. The program also includes the world premiere of a violin concerto by Michael Gandolfi, featuring the Fort Worth Symphony's beloved concertmaster Michael Shee. Gandolfi was a core member of the Atlanta School that Robert founded during his tenure there, and we are very much looking forward to the continued association with the composer. On February 21st, 2026, we welcome back legendary violinist Gil Shaham for a gala performance of Brahms' sumptuous violin concerto conducted by Robert. If you heard Gil's most recent performance of the fiendishly difficult Tchaikovsky violin concerto, you know you won't want to miss the Brahms. On the same program, Robert will also conduct the Vaughan Williams Fantasia on a theme by Thomas Tallis. And now Robert Spano will announce the 25-26 chamber music program here at the Kimball. This series remains truly one of the jewels in the crown for the Fort Worth Symphony, as we love featuring our superb musicians and occasional guest artists in a wide range of innovative programming, from Stravinsky and Schulhoff to Mozart and Beethoven. We have even been able to incorporate unique visuals into these chamber music programs, such as projecting the inside of a repaired piano for a work by John Cage. And so Robert will now join us again to talk about the chamber music series.
It's so wonderful to be in this beautiful museum today, and we are so thrilled that we've been able to launch a chamber music series in this very hall. We have 3 a year, and next year our 3 promise to be as wonderful as they've been in the past. It's just a joy to be here at the Kimball. The first program is on September 28th in 2025. The Poulenc Sonata for flute and piano will be featured, and we're playing in just a moment, we'll play a movement of that sonata just as a little amuse-bouche for the chamber music series. And then we have the Poulenc Trio for oboe, bassoon, and piano, the Brahms Trio for clarinet, cello, and piano, and the Ravel Introduction and Allegro for harp, flute, clarinet, and string quartet, all just glorious pieces. In February of 26, on the 15th of February, we'll be doing a program with the Beethoven Sonata for horn and piano, the Ligeti Bagatelles for wind quintet, the Britten Lacrymae for viola and piano, and the Schumann Piano Quartet in E-flat major. In April of 2026, on April 19th, we will have music of Mozart, the horn quintet, horn and strings, the Schumann Fantasiestücke for oboe and piano, and the Archduke Trio of Beethoven. So we're just so happy to be able to continue this chamber music series, and if you would please welcome Jake Fritkus, our marvelous principal flutist of the orchestra, to join me, and we'll play the second movement of the Poulenc Sonata for flute and piano.
So if that isn't an inspiration for you to attend the chamber music series coming up, I don't know what would be. So please join us for those performances. For the next part of our presentation this afternoon, Fort Worth Symphony cellist Kira Fullerton is going to announce the family programming.
One of the goals of the FWSO's family programming is to create on-ramps for young people and their relatives to experience the magic of the Fort Worth Symphony and its talented musicians as one important way to build audiences for the future. These programs are generously underwritten by John Wells and Shay McCullough Wells and will be conducted by our associate conductor, Michelle DeRusso. On November 8th, 2025, Michelle will conduct a program built around the extraordinary life of a contemporary of Mozart, the Chevalier Saint-Georges. Then on January 17th, 2026, the FWSO presents The Unicorn's Birthday, a family-friendly birthday celebration and introduction to the Symphony Orchestra. And finally, on May 2nd, we present another installment in our popular fairy tale storybook, Sleeping Beauty. These programs are an important part of the FWSO's community outreach, where the symphony performs to more than 20,000 students and their teachers each season. Join us. And now Maestro Spano has a very exciting announcement to make.
We do have really good news about Dame Jane. She will be joining us for a 3-year term as the principal guest conductor of the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra beginning on August 1st of 2025. And we're just thrilled that she's joining our musical family. We've been very blessed to have Kevin Edusey in that role for the last 3 years. And for the next 3 now, we will have Jane Glover, who is one of the world's great conductors, one of the world's great musicians and scholars and author. She brings such a wealth of expertise and experience to us, and it's just a great gift. I've enjoyed working with Jane for many, many years at the Aspen Music Festival and School, where she is a frequent and regular guest and a most wonderful colleague. And we've already had just dynamic, wonderful concerts with the orchestra with her. She was unable to join us today. She's working in the UK at this time, but she did send us her presence via video, which I think we can show now.
Good afternoon, Fort Worth. I'm Jane Glover, and I am so delighted to be assuming the role of principal guest conductor with the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra. I've known Robert for many years. I think he's a fabulous musician, a wonderful, knowledgeable conductor, and a great colleague. We always enjoy our time together in Aspen every summer. Well, in my conversations about programming with Keith and Robert, we wanted to strike a balance between works I've conducted many times and some works I'm excited to explore personally and with the orchestra. So for my first program as principal guest conductor, I'll conduct 2 exquisite staples of the repertoire, Mozart's Last Piano Concerto, K595 in B-flat with the wonderful Imogen Cooper, and the Mozart Exsultate Jubilate with soprano Lawrence Snowfer. And in the second half of the program, I will conduct Mahler's 4th Symphony, a work I've been interested in performing for a long time. I've done it in the chamber version, but never in the full version, though I've known it all my life, and so I'm so looking forward to that. Then in March 2026, I'm looking forward to presenting Haydn's Sinfonia Concertante for winds with 4 of your outstanding principals, as well as a classic of the British repertoire, Benjamin Britten's 4 C interludes from Peter Grimes, and then Beethoven's Symphony No. 4. I look forward so much to meeting you all in person very soon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tim Daniels, FWSO English horn and oboe player. I'm thrilled to announce another exciting season of Pops planned for you, including tribute bands and an expanded set of movies with orchestra. As Keith Cerny noted at the beginning of today's presentation, the FWSO continues to present theater of a concert projects in its programming, and these play a part in the Pop series as well. On August 29 and 30, we present 2 performances of Windborne's The Music of Queen. Queen's popular rock songs remain an audience favorite, and you won't want to miss this show. Brent Havens will conduct, and Mig Ayeza is the featured vocalist. On November 7 and 8, it's Back to the Future with Rewind, music of the 1980s. Our associate conductor, Michelle DiRusso, will conduct the show featuring works by George Michael, Kool and the Gang, The Cure, and more. Then, on November 28 and 29, Michelle will conduct the FWSO's favorite fall program, Home for the Holidays. You can always count on great orchestral playing and singing on this show, and for good old Santa to make a welcome appearance. On January 16 and 17, 2026, the FWSO leads a special collaboration with the Sid Richardson Museum in a program entitled Wild West Rodeo. Michelle will conduct a program of American classics, and the performance will feature paintings by Remington and Russell from the Richardsons' collection to accompany Groffet's iconic Grand Canyon Suite. This unique collaboration is another important entry in the FWSO's Theater of a Concert strategy. On January 30th and 31st, 2026, Deanna Tham conducts Disney's The Lion King in concert. Enjoy a timeless Disney classic on the big screen as the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra brings every note to life, performing the complete score live on stage. And finally, March 6th and 7th, 2026, Ron Spiegelman conducts the Marvel Studios Infinity Saga concert experience, covering 23 films in one performance. You will see all of your favorite characters, including early entrants, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, each accompanied by their own heroic music. FWSO principal keyboard and pre-concert talk speaker of Bach Tales with Buddy, the amazing Buddy Bray, will now announce our specials lineup for the next season.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Our specials lineup is just as exciting as everything else you've heard. First, on August the 23rd, 2025, we will present our Stars of the Symphony program. This has become an annual affair now, conducted by Michelle DiRusso and featuring members of the Fort Worth Symphony. It's a little bit special because the format includes brief concertos or single movements of concertos in which the soloists are drawn from our own ranks in the Fort Worth Symphony. So you can hear 4 or more musicians from our orchestra in a single thrilling evening. Our Fort Worth Symphony star lineup this year includes Jennifer Corning-Lucio on oboe, Anna Colotilina on viola, and Kira Fullerton on cello, whom you just met a few minutes ago. This is a not-to-be-missed concert when our very own orchestra members take center stage. Next, on November 1st, Ron Spiegelman will return to Fort Worth to conduct Jurassic Park in concert, featuring the HD film and music by Hollywood legend John Williams, performed, of course, by our magnificent musicians of the Fort Worth Symphony. Continuing our presentation of first-run movies, the Fort Worth Symphony will present Elf in concert on December 13th, just in time for the holidays, with score by John Debney and conducted by Scott Terrell. On April 18th, 2026, Michelle DiRusso conducts a great concert called A Decade in Concert, Walt Disney Animation Studios. This is a program including many favorite hits, including music from Moana, Zootopia, Big Hero 6, Tangled, and many more. And now to wrap up today's presentation, here again is our president and CEO, Dr. Keith Cerny.
Thank you, buddy. So we're in the home stretch here with just 2 final announcements to make. On May 16, 2026, Maestro Spano conducts a special program of works by Copeland, Alan Fletcher, and Barber with soloist soprano Susanna Phillips. Notably, this program includes 3 new songs by Alan Fletcher, distinguished composer and CEO of the Aspen Music Festival and School. And last, I wanted to give an update on the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra's summer programming. Last summer, the Symphony inaugurated the Mercedes T. Bass Sounds of the Summer series with 6 performances at the Fort Worth Botanic Garden, as well as the C.R. Smith Museum and the lawn at the Amon G. Carter Museum. Our plan is to continue to present this program until the Fort Worth Botanic Garden completes its purpose-built stage, likely in summer 2027 or 2028. Once the stage is complete, we look forward to resuming the Mercedes T. Bass Concerts in the Garden series at the Fort Worth Botanic Garden. In closing, I'd like to thank our Chief Operating Officer, Carrie Ellen Adamian, and Monica Sheehan, as well as the entire ops team for the Fort Worth Symphony for producing today's event, doing such a terrific job. We hope you'll join us for the upcoming season. There truly is something for everyone. Subscription renewals begin today, January 22nd, and new subscription sales begin April 3rd. You can find us on fwsymphony.org. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate your support.